Hello YouTube, it's Tony. So today I'll show you 10 general tips for RuneScape 3 returning players. First of all, I made a video on my perspective as a returning player and I'll leave the link in the description. Before I start this video, what can you truly expect from this? Now the definition of a returning player is really vague. I mean, some players have returned after 10 years, while others only a 1 or 2 year break. I'm gonna make this guide as if it's geared towards those who haven't tried EOC yet. So because of this, some of the stuff may be more obvious to others. Now this isn't a guide on specific content, as I quote, "These are general tips." I am planning to do a guide playlist where it's dedicated towards returning players. If you want me to make a specific guide I haven't made about, just feel free to comment down below. Here are my 10 tips. Number 1, research. Nowadays there's an in-game command called /wiki, which will take you to an RS wiki page that you type in instantly. When it comes to research, don't always have to ask and wait for an answer to a simple question. I mean, look at the RS wiki. It's such a good source for basic information on most items, places, quests, or even recent updates. When I first returned to this game, I learned a lot from browsing RS wiki pages. So yeah, research is the key to progression. There are also other helpful resources here, and I'll leave the links in the description. Tip number 2, freedom to explore. So no matter how well a guide explains their content, you're probably not going to understand this on the very first try, especially if you're completely new to this. Everything has a learning curve of some sort, even the simplest things here. Honestly, don't expect to be spoon-fed each and every single piece of advice. At the end of the day, how you want to play this game is entirely up to you. You know, there are several updates over the course of the years. To learn and get used to everything, it is going to take a while, so I highly suggest you be patient. Don't expect to memorize 10 years worth of updates in 1 week, okay? Even when I first came back, I was very unfamiliar with EOC, and it took me weeks to understand this. Before you start forcing yourself to learn unfamiliar content and being frustrated with not knowing what to do, just do what you're normally comfortable with at first. The third tip we have is called patience and preparation. What I mean by this is don't jump into bossing right away with the lowest possible gear. I understand that a lot of people dream of killing the biggest bosses as soon as possible, and yes, it's nice to have big goals. However, by dividing big goals into a lot of short-term goals, you'll inch closer towards getting bigger goals in the future. A lot of times I see people trying to jump into bosses right away with a really low gear setup and thinking, oh, I'm gonna get a lot of drops and make a lot of money from this. To be honest, you'll actually end up losing more money than you make, especially if it takes a long time to learn these bosses. Even for me nowadays, I haven't profited at all while I was doing Araxor, so yeah, I'm patiently learning everything here. Ideally, you want to make money with other money-making methods, and then prepare yourself for the basics of EOC before you start jumping into bossing. At tip number 4, we have wilderness and luring. You might be thinking, oh, everyone knows what luring is. Everyone knows how to avoid luring, right? Luring is actually more common than you think, as I've seen people on Reddit complain about getting lured. In order to avoid getting lured, it's really simple. Just stop trusting random people to tell you to go to the wilderness for whatever reason, or drop items for them because they'll give you something in return. I cannot stress this enough. No matter what, they're always gonna be a scam, and to my surprise, a lot of rich players fall for this. If it's too good to be true, just stay out of this and stay safe. You'll notice that there are some giveaway streams which have 1k plus view bots, right? Those are called phishing scams. If at any point you see a fake stream of a famous streamer, just completely ignore this and report them. They're gonna lead you to an external link which will enter your login information, and thus they'll hack you instantly. Then again, not every giveaway is a scam. Those that do not require you to click an external link are completely safe. The other thing I like to talk about is don't bring anything that you're not willing to lose in the wilderness, okay? I've seen people bring a Noxious Bow and complain, oh, I lost my Noxious Bow because someone skull tricked me. I didn't attack someone first. You're right, you most probably didn't try to attack someone first, but there is some way that people can cause you to get skulled unintentionally. I am very certain that there's gonna be an unknown skull trick in the game, so don't rely on protect item to save the day. In order to stay safe, just bring some welfare gear like, I don't know, a Sun Spear or a Vanquish or something like that. At number 5, we have Discord and voice chat. Especially for gaming, Discord is extremely popular. When you're doing group bosses, it's extremely helpful for communication. Many clans nowadays have a community Discord server. Now the footage I'm showing you is the official RuneScape's Discord. So as you can see right here, they provide you a good source for information. I mean, you can also ask people for help without them needing to be online. Depending on what RuneScape services you need, there are several Discord servers for this. What's also really amazing about Discord is that you can join multiple Discord servers at once. That being said, this is a good way to network with fellow scapers. I do have a personal Discord server myself if you want to check it out, but it's not the best, although it's worth mentioning anyways. Custom interface. Especially for new accounts, the default interfaces are really messy. You can drag and rearrange the interface components how you like. Otherwise, if you want to keep it very simple, RuneScape 3 has an option that allows you to use a legacy interface. You can put multiple action bars on the screen by going to your action bar settings. There are definitely a lot more features for interface you can customize, and I actually found a really good YouTube guide on this. I will leave the link in the description. The next tip we have is the Revolution Combat mode. When you first return to this game, combat is really difficult to learn. It took me a month to understand the very basics of combat. However, luckily for you, we have Revolution. This allows players to automatically use these abilities in combat without pressing the keys. It will trigger them in chronological order from where you place these abilities. Generally speaking, it's best to use either dual wield or two-handed weapon abilities. Every account starts with 5 free action bars. At first, which abilities you want to use is really overwhelming. Luckily for you, we have the RS Wiki page for this. I know this page looks really confusing and long, but I would say just go after the Revolution ++ or the regular Revolution bar rotations. As you scroll down the page, there are multiple abilities you can add in as well. In the future, I might make a Revolution only DPS guide. These action bars will get you through the fundamentals until you start doing stronger bosses. Coming at tip number 8, we have Area Loot. Basically, it allows you to loot multiple drops in 2 clicks. In order to enable this, go to your game settings, then hit item drops, then hit the loot system and checkbox the first 3 options. Every time you see multiple drops within a 5x5 radius, clicking this will open up the interface. Now press the spacebar and you can instantly loot multiple drops at once. This will increase the profit when you're killing monsters, and it's universally helpful, especially for Slayer in combat. Seriously, anyone who has returned to this game has to know this tip. At number 9, we have bank presets. In order to set up a bank preset, go to your bank interface settings. This requires having the items in your inventory or equipment, and then you can click the cog and click save on the first slot. When it comes to production skills at a bank chest like fletching, crafting, herb lore, firemaking, and many more skills, you have to withdraw them manually and then bank. However, bank presets allow you to instantly withdraw the exact same inventory and equipment setup in 1 click. Pressing the 1 key loads the first preset slot. This makes it not only easier but also a lot faster when it comes to training skills. When it comes to bossing, the inventory and gear become more complex. This is why saving the preset is especially helpful. The 10th and last tip we have is do your quests. Look, I understand a lot of people hate questing. However, quests are very rewarding as a whole, especially in today's day and age. In general, they're just a game changer, and they will make this game so much easier. Great quest unlocks include Menaphos, Ancient Curses, Priv Access, Slisky's in-game, and many more nice quests. On top of that, when you get 150 quest points, you'll unlock a free tier 75 hybrid weapon. The quest point shop is located right near the Varrock Lodestone. You can claim this weapon for free. There are also one-time rewards you can collect from the quest point shop, and this gives you some pocket change. Just do your quests, trust me, it will benefit you a lot here. With that being said, these are the 10 general tips for returning players. They might also work for new players, but I cannot guarantee this. I hope everyone enjoys RuneScape, and best of luck with your goals. So how do you feel as a returning player nowadays? When you return to this game, what sort of things were you really unsure about? Also, if you want to suggest anything for my returning player guide playlist, then just feel free to comment down below.